Hi, this is Nathan Masiola, the creator of the FireGround Calculator. The FireGround Calculator is your pump operator cheat sheet turned digital. This app allows engineers and pump operators to quickly calculate straight stream nozzle flows, pump discharge pressure, accounting for friction loss, elevation, and appliances, fire flows, and hydrant flows. You may also store your department's pre-connects in the app for a quick reference guide. There are additional features such as interdepartmental note sharing, personal notes, and a how far can I pump calculator. Now that you have an idea of what the FireGround calculator can do, I'll run you through how this app functions. First things first, we're going to log in to the FireGround calculator. If you've already made an account, simply enter your email, then enter your password, log in. This opens up a little information thing. Main thing to note, read the About section that's accessible in the side menu. It will help get you started. We're going to continue into the app. There are all of the features you can see on here. If you go into the side section, you'll see the username, and next to it is blank. That's where the department goes. So test here needs to join a department. Let's read here and see how we can do that. First off, sensitive, confidential, protected health information should not be stored in this app. You can contact me at firegroundcalculator@gmail.com with any questions, concerns, or cries for help. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. You can see all the calculations and formulas that I use in the pumping info section. So first off, you have to belong to a department to use the full features of this app. You can create a department in the Update Profile section located in the sidebar menu of the home page. You and others can join that department with the code in the Update Profile section under Department Code. You can add your own appliances, but for the PDP calculator to work, you have to create a no appliance with a friction loss of 0. And then below there's additional information on how everything is shared between department members. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go to Update Profile. We're going to create a department here since test is the first one. Test belongs to the test department, so we're just going to use that. Then go to Update Department Code. Go to the drop-down and select the test department. Hit Update User. And that should fix the problem he's been having. Over to the sidebar menu, you can now see that test is in the test department. Now, test wants to add a department pre-connect for his first out apparatus. Enter the apparatus name in the first section here. The label could be a driver side pre-connect. We're just going to call this test pre-connect. And then our PDP. Well, what is our PDP? Let's figure that out. First things first, we're going to need to know how many GPMs we're flowing. It's going to be a 7/8 inch nozzle. We're going to do 0 inches and 7/8 with a 50 psi nozzle pressure. And we're going to call this test 1. Once you hit that calculate, you'll see that that nozzle flows 160 GPM. Go back home, go to our PDP calculator, go to our hose diameter, it's 1 3/4 at 160 gallons a minute, 200 feet long at 50 psi nozzle pressure. I'm going to put no elevation change for now. And, oh, I forgot to put my no appliance in, so we're going to go and do that really quick. Go down to Add Appliance. Enter appliance name no, friction loss of 0. Create that appliance. Perfect, you can see that in our appliance list. Then back to our PDP calculator. Again, 1 3/4, 160 GPM, 200 feet, 50 psi nozzle pressure, no elevation change, no appliance. And this is going to be our test 1 pre-connect. Hit that calculate button. That pulls up 129 psi for our PDP. Go into our department pre-connect, add a new one. On our test rig, our test 1 pre-connect, our PDP is going to be, we'll call it 130, just to make it a nice even number. Create that pre-connect. Now you can see, test one pre-connect, 130 PSI. You can also delete any of these in the future if you need to change them. Let's go to our fire flow calculator. Let's say that we have a 30 by 40 structure, it's 2 floors, and it's 50% involved. We're going to see that we need 400 gallons a minute to get that fire under control. Okay, next up we show our CAF's PDP list. CAFs are a bit weird. This came from Montgomery County, Maryland's engine module 5. You can find that online with a simple Google search. This is our how far can I pump. It's a pretty cool little feature, but we'll get back to that later. Now, we're going to get to how much more can I flow. Our static was 110 psi, our residual is, let's say, 95 after we start flowing water, and we're flowing 160 GPMs right now. Let's see, 13% change. That tells us that we can do a total of 3 times our current water flow, so our pump is capable of doing that 400 gallons a minute easily. Alright, and now I'm going to show you the hydrant flow calculator. Have base for outlet diameter, toe pressure. If your outlet's 4 inches or larger, you use the bottom drop down, otherwise you're going to use this chart here. We have 3 main options. This is off the NFPA site. I'm going to say that ours is the smooth and rounded one with a 0.90. So we have a 2.5 inch outlet at, let's say, go crazy here, 80 psi. The toe, you know, this is 0.90. And A, because it's less than 4 inches. We do have options there if it is larger. And a number of outlets, I'm going to say 2. And this is at the intersection of test and test. Calculate that. Showing a whopping 3,000 gallons a minute with the Patel reading and the location on there. Alright, so next we're going to add a department note. Click on department notes here, hit the plus button. Just going to enter test 1 note and the user's name. Create a department note. That pops up with the time. Okay, next up you can see our pumping info right here, some basic numbers. These are all the calculations I used, or all the formulas I used, along with the coefficients. Some definitions here, so that you can sort out what I mean with all of those. And then drafting info, just the basics on how to draft, some alternative drafting methods, and then what your draft capabilities are, depending on elevation. Now in our side section, we're going to go to the personal notes section. I'm going to enter a note for test and the date. See that pops up. You do have the option to delete that. Now we're going to log out and we're going to make a new user. Go to the sign up page. This guy is going to be test2. Enter the password and enter a username here. Assign test2 up. Log him in by entering email, entering the password. And now, look at our department pre-connects, there's nothing there. That's because test2 is not in a department, so let's fix that. Go make him part of the test department, update the user, and now you can see that test2 is part of the test department. If we look at our pre-connects, there's our pre-connect that was made earlier by our other user. We can look at department notes. And if you go into My Notes, you'll see that we cannot see the other user's note in there. Let's make one real quick. Hit Create. And there we can see our note, but not anyone else's. You do have the option to delete. Let's do that real quick. Here's a little bug that I found that is now fixed. Same thing with the department preconnects. Hit delete. Are you sure you want to delete it? It cannot be undone. Then you hit delete and it goes away. You can log back out. And that's an old test account. Let's put the right one in. There it is. Log in. And when we look at our department preconnects, we can see that that was deleted for everyone in the department. So do be careful about deleting stuff. All right. Now we're going to have to get into the how far can I pump calculator. It's a fun little thing. Say we have an 1 3/4 hose at 160 gallons a minute. My pump does 250 max PDP. We want 50 psi at the nozzle. It goes up 25 feet. I'm going to call this the test. And there's no appliance. So we hit no. Calculate. And you can see that this can pump 472 feet at 250 psi. Let's say you need to go 1,000 feet. We're going to have to change either our hose size or decrease our flow. Alright, that is all I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions on features I should add, you can contact me at firegroundcalculator@gmail.com. There is a monthly fee to keep this app running. If you would like to help support me in this, you can contact me at firegroundcalculator@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and do good work, everyone.